Hey, if you can hear me, give me a minute. I'm gonna put some music on. Um, what should we listen to? Yeah, may as well. Okay. So, I have no plan for this reading, but I have been shown a lot of really messed up things about people recently. And I just opened. I just was shown how someone. I'm a little speechless, honestly, at the audacity, at the utter audacity. But at the same time, I'm a little dumbfounded that there are people that actually do this shit. So it hasn't even been an hour. I just made some coffee. I was meditating. I had absurd visions. And I finally dyed my hair, but it's in a ponytail right now, and I'm not going to get on camera because I'm just sleepy, kind of, but not really. I The things I saw earlier had no significance to what I was being shown recently within the hour. What I saw earlier when the sun was still up and I was meditating and sun gazing, it was like walking into a sensory deprivation chamber. But inside the sensory deprivation chamber, there's like these ultraviolet or something lights that aren't visible to normal light, to normal eyesight. So when you're in there, you see something completely different. It was such a strange vision. I don't know what it exactly it means. But recently within the hour, what the other thing that was shown to me that has me a little unnerved, I guess, because I'm having to, what's the word? It's like a tempest, like strong winds off in the distance, and you're standing on your porch looking at the distance, and you can see the wind shredding everything around you, but you're in the eye of the storm, and you just saw the wind shred like a barn that you had. It took a story and it shredded it into something else, and it took it away. And I was feeling that still in between moment of rage, powerlessness, and complete faith. It was like a trinity of three opposing forces all felt at the same time. And I felt and saw this like green glow, like a weird emerald kind of really rich dark green color. And it felt like a nice warm blanket. It was like a healing energy. It felt so strange. It was like looking and being hidden in a forest. And then I saw myself recording a video. So I went and poured myself a cup of coffee, came here, hit record, and been giving you this branched out explanation of what I've experienced, kind of in this day, but it's basically just been 1 second of this day. Just 1 second in totality of it. Maybe 2 seconds if I turn each moment into 1 second. It was just 2 moments throughout the entire day. And there's 24 hours in one day. So when I asked God and my guides what this reading should be about, I pulled out this deck and this card came out, the Lunar Queen. And I thought, oh, so we're going to talk about emotions or something, right? Like the moon, planets, or whatever. And then I noticed her face. It's on the card, it says she of the celestial crescent, but behind her is a full moon. Below that is divine destiny, path of the divine warrior. And I got the biggest sensation of having to accept the Five of Cups energy and releasing it instantly. Like I had no choice to even hold on to it. I felt it and it was gone. And it felt like the crescent of a moon, like that light that you see and it's just gone. When you're sun gazing and the sun goes just over the building and suddenly like the light over the entire place kind of shifts because it's behind a building now. You're not seeing the direct light, you're getting the ambient light. And just a side note, while sun gazing, the sun looks really different. I'm uncertain how to describe it, but it looks very different. Very different. So I thought this was going to be a reading for Aquarius at first. And then when I was shown the shadowy stuff, I thought it was going to be a shadow reading, like a shadow side reading. In about 10 minutes before I started the video, I lit a bunch of frankincense and I've just been kind of sitting here thinking. And I noticed I'm thinking about 1,000 different things to distract myself from the thing I can't do anything about. It's such a strange feeling, isn't it? I'm being shown the image of a child being like smacked with a ruler by a nun in those Catholic churches, church school things. And the kid is just sitting there, like standing there, and they can't do anything or say anything. It's like, why would you do that? It's mind-boggling to me. I have to put myself mentally in a completely different paradigm to be able to comprehend these things that people do to each other in society. It's so odd to me. The entire concept of like working together against someone else. It's so strange. Stealing from someone, pretending to be someone's friend, like plotting against people, doing dark intentions against people, having like sex with one person and thinking of another person, stalking, spying, spreading rumors, copying, cloning, all the hidden things in the world. And I'm just sitting here in this apartment day by day by myself 99.9% of the time, mind boggled by humanity. I can't even call them humanity. Like I started I've lately, I don't know what it is, and I apologize if this offends anybody because it is not meant offensively. I'm experiencing something that's very strange to me. It's as if I can see under the disguise of the person, like underneath their hair, underneath the colors. I can see the energy that shaped the skin. I'm uncertain how else to put it. If it was a fantasy movie or something, I would say it's kind of like seeing the demon behind the illusion. And it took these specific types of betrayals for me to be able to see that. It, the way my guides have shown me this and the way God has put me through this to experience it, it's very similar to I think it was She-Ra, the cartoon in the 80s, where she was, I think, working for Skeletor or some bad guy, and she didn't know. Like, she had no concept that what they were doing was bad until she, like, found He-Man, and then He-Man's like, yo. And she was like, oh, and then started following her heart and being true to herself and all that. It feels like that. Like being in hell, like the Christian metaphoric hell with all the monsters and demons, and being there for so long thinking that those things are people. Because I can't fathom how someone with any semblance of empathy or ability to say or feel love can betray anything. How dare you? Not against me or against anybody. And like, how dare you, whoever it is that's doing stuff like that in the world, how we do it to ourselves? How dare we betray that aspect of God within us by going against another living being in any kind of way? And then to profit off of it by causing suffering or by profiting off the suffering. It's so wrong. I'm uncertain of how to even remedy the situation on a humane or a cosmic level, to even channel anything or to. I My head has not stopped shaking, like from left to right in disappointment. And it's not even disappointment, it's so much more unresisted. Disappointment usually has some resistance because there was a belief of the possibility of better behavior. The way I'm feeling it, it's like a thread that has absolutely no semblance of its light left in it. Humanity has been playing that and weaving its part in the tapestry with that thread. And I want nothing to do with it. I can't even be energetically associated with beings, regardless of your species, that in any way can justify betrayal. There isn't even disappointment. It's just a flat out, oh, it's just, it's not even a failure then. It was just something that wasn't ever meant to be anything other than that. It's a traitor. I don't even know. I can't even be like, God have mercy on them, because at the same time, it's like people that do that, the moment they have any kind of a moment to even choose an option or to make a choice or whatever choice, a decision, there isn't a force of wisdom powerful enough to turn some dark threads to light. So we as a species have to come to an acceptance point. Are we going to continue to fly with vultures and thieves and lay with uh, or are we going to allow God to weed out the garden? Because what I'm seeing from where I am, if every single person doesn't begin immediately to stop betraying themselves and others, then there is no point in even attempting to be a better person, because you're just continuing the energy of betrayal. You're betraying the concept of being a better person by pretending to be and then behaving in a self-harming or, whatever way, with your thoughts, with your actions, the way you talk to yourself in the mirror, or the way you talk about other people, whatever it is. If every living being vibrates that out of their own system, then we don't have anything to worry about. We'll be an entire tapestry of light, of multicolors. But if there's a majority of these dark threads and they're constantly spreading their ink everywhere, then what would a regular seamstress do? Cut out the ink spot, right? Screw it, can't bleach it enough. Eventually, if you bleach it enough, the structure of the DNA or whatever, it just loses its integrity. The cotton becomes too like Kleenex. I don't know if you've bleached your hair enough times, but eventually it gets really crispy, if not stretchy, and just falls out. So there's only so much you can attempt to purify something when the thing itself attempts to constantly behave in a way that dirties its own divinity. And me sitting here looking at the world and peeking at the news and then seeing how people are behaving just towards me on Facebook, for fuck's sake. And then, barely interacting with me other than to data mine me for information. It's just and then the audacity to make money off of it. Like, okay, cool, congrats, but you do realize the karmic whiplash, right? Because it's based on a foundation of betrayal, not inspiration. It goes everywhere. That theme applies in every field of human civilization right now. And if you cannot see that, then I don't know why you're here watching this video. But if you can see that, then God help you to choose to be a better person. How can people be so disconnected from goodness? It's embarrassing. I'm ashamed for the species. It's embarrassing to even think that sexually transmitted diseases exist, let alone diseases based on lack of proper hygiene. And then people want to treat each other as if they have hidden agendas. Why do you even smile at anybody then, if you're just hiding a forked tongue behind your teeth? Doesn't matter how white you make them if you're fucking seeping venom instead of saliva. It's a good thing my face isn't on camera right now, because I probably look like the most disappointed auntie covered in crystals and like knitted clothes ever. I want you guys watching this video right now to take a deep breath. Just breathe. Nourishment of the golden grain mother, the mother of life. Honestly, I'm debating if it's even worth it to say what I'm hearing, like the message that's been wanting to be shared with you. Because some people probably won't even get it. And those that do already know it, so what's the point? We're all supposed to be helping each other. We're all supposed to be working together. No two trees fight each other. Why are humans stupider than trees? Each blade of grass works with the next blade of grass. Mushrooms are an entire system connected to each other across the entire planet. But humans, given the gift of skin and thumbs, would rather poke each other in the eye. The advice? You already know the advice. Don't be a poor excuse for a person. Like, why is that a difficult concept to comprehend? I'm hashtag shook that these words even need to be uttered into creation. Hey guys, don't fight. What the fuck? I mean, how much the mother of life must be weeping in the cosmos, staring at this planet. They can't even spell heart the right way, it's spelled earth. And on it, they're kicking each other's asses for no other reason than what's growing on the planet they're all sprouting off of through each other. And then they fight each other. It's like a madness. And you think that any of this, I'm seeing this as somebody from a different dimension, looking at the humans in this dimension. This is what you guys did with the gift of life. If someone was going to tell the spinners of fate what was going on here in this tapestry, what do you think they would do immediately? The balance of light and dark being imbalanced, what do you think they would do? Do you know what that means? That means no matter what's done, no matter what's done, light or dark, if any becomes imbalanced, it's brought back into balance by forces you cannot even comprehend. By forces you can't even comprehend. Working together energetically to bring the light back into balance. Which side of it do you want to be on? When these spinners send out the crone, do you want to be on this side or that side? Do you want to be with this or with this? You want to be with the mother of life and the golden nourishment, right? Not with the night and the void. then it's time to make a choice right where you stand with what you have right now. Are you going to be a better person right now? Or does shit have to get really real for you? Before you guys choose kindness and stop betraying yourselves. Do you really need this? Is this really what you're waiting for? Because once this guy shows up, these guys are right behind him. And what they're doing is what they said to do, which they follow, which she comes and clears the way with this. And you know what this means, don't you? Harvest. So which thread do you want to be with? When the heavens open up and the earth itself speaks to you, and you see all the Holy Spirits, which thread do you want to be? If you're alive, you still have time. Astral, love, fire, sensuality, and fertility. And 42, bliss, contentment, satisfaction, and security. Do you remember what it was like to feel comfortable and wrapped up in a blanket? Do you remember what it was like when you were living with your parents, your friend, by yourself, or when you had your own room, or when you were living with someone? Can you recall those moments? Can you recall those moments and the way you felt? Felt like you were at home, didn't you? What's so different now? Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually allowed your sacred creative energy to be expressed? Humans gifted with sacred sexual energy, and what they do with it is a fucking joke. Channeling the power of creation and then just flopping their dongs and tacos around and taking pictures of it. Sexualizing their breasts, which are meant to feed and nourish and to comfort. It's like a species lost in its own skin. A species that forgot how to receive gentle, comforting nourishing, sensual, passionate affection without it being sexual. To really be caressed and cared for. To be doing that for yourself. This seems to be linked into self-betrayal. I'm being shown a nervous system and a certain thread through the nervous system not being lit up anymore. And the thread, it's kind of labeled like, it's called like a cable, like an internet cable, but the wording on the side of it is called sexual energy. When that's turned off, it's as if people lose their ability to remember what feeling content, satisfied, and secure feels like, which causes them to betray because they don't allow themselves to receive bliss and pleasure, so they attempt to take it from someone else. Hey, you look peaceful. Give me some of that. When was the last time any of you really can say you truly felt secure enough to relax? When was the last time you rubbed your toes? When was the last time you sat in a tub and prayed to God? When was the last time you just sat quietly and listened to the sound of your own heartbeat? Whatever you choose will be correct. Everything is as it should be. Whatever you choose is correct. So relax. If you're not betraying anybody, you have nothing to worry about, right? If you're betraying yourself, then detox. Your home, your environment, your etheric connections, dissolve them gracefully with love. Learn the lessons, find the medicine. Document the wisdom you gained by going through what you went through, the way you went through it and what you learned, so you could share it in your way. Just because you know how to use a computer doesn't mean you know how to use a computer as well as the person who invented a computer. Do you? Some of you are eating some things that are so full of artificial ingredients you can't process anymore. You don't know what's real from not because your system is running on artificial ingredients. Others of you are taking so many vitamins and supplements, your body is like weakening because it's not making its own. You're giving it too many supplements, which is making it your own system's lazy. So balance it out. Others of you really need to ground yourself. Find some nature, grass, trees, hug a tree, touch some grass, sit in it, lay in it, have a picnic, talk to a plant. Open your eyes, look in the mirror, and pray to God. Open your eyes, look in the mirror, and pray to God while looking into the mirror at yourself. You are a gift. If you can't treat yourself that way, how do you expect God to treat you that way? You want God to have you think it's okay to be a victim and still get a reward? You think God wants you to steal from other people and still get something good happen to you? You think that those lessons aren't going to be taught to you with such grace and such beauty and such divinity that you're going to be brought to your knees in regret? And all of it can be changed if you just allow yourself to be who you are without all the fake shit and the masks and the bullshit and the decay and the overgrowth and the framed bull. Like, nobody believes what this person is selling, but this person is like, look at what I'm creating over here. But it's obviously someone else's frame, someone else's curtain, someone else's dress, someone else's hair, someone else's outfit, someone else's everything, because it's a detox. You're removing something that isn't yours. What you found was meant to be medicine for you, not a checkbook increase. Honor your own creative mystical force. Bro, honor your creative force. Honor your creative mystical force. Honor your mystical creative force. Honor yourself. Why bleed like another when you have your own blood? Yours not good enough? Spirit wants you to know, to a very few specific group of you. Spirit knows. 12. They know what you're working together on. They know what you're trying to do. And they want you to know that it's not going to work. Just FYI. But continue, because it's a great show. You think nobody can see you behind that mask, right? One person's mouth is covered up, the other one's eyes are covered up. One belongs to paradise, the other one's doing hexes and curses. Why? Because this one wants to belong to paradise, but they can't. Why would someone do this? Because they denied themselves this. See the red hair? All dulled out. The lipstick dulled out. The leaves. Dried out. Turned into thorns and horns. All that stuff you thought you were doing ended up poisoning to those who were stealing. What you thought you were growing by what you stole, things that were not yours dripping upon what you were creating, become a poison, a venom, right in the palm of your own hands. See that? So which thread are you going to choose? Because you're being given a warning by Spirit. Detox yourself of that energy of betrayal, or be woven in the direction of your choices that you chose with the cups you shared and the people you shared them with. Birds of a feather flock together. Are you one of those birds? Because they're going with her. They're not going with her. Those little birds are going with her. The animals of nature and light. Not those scavengers. Scavengers have one purpose, and it isn't to sit there and bask in the light. It's to scavenge for the remains of the living. I'm not saying that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Most of you, collectively, have become so blinded to the pain. Do I need to show you these cards again over here? 2 different decks. So blinded to the pain you've caused that you're bound in your own anger and chains without even knowing you're bound. And your inner child has been trying to show you the way this entire time. But you can't hear it. There is no advice for this. You already know the advice. Stop lying to yourselves. It's not that difficult. Don't be an asshole. When you're an a-hole, this is what you're doing. Because the true you is a good person. So why would you be anything other than yourself? This is why it's difficult sometimes to give people any kind of advice, especially through private readings. It's like, you already know. What are you asking me for? You cheated. No, she's not coming back. Or like, she was just using you. No, she's not coming back. Why do you even want her back? Or these other readings I used to do with each zodiac sign. It's like, how many of them were freaking ridiculous love readings? With people just doing the most absurd, stupid things. Wasting each other's time. For no fucking reason other than to play games. People paying money. Is he coming back? No, and I don't want your money. I'm not even going to answer that. Like, you already know. And then having to call people out on it because it's so absurd. Like, we're supposed to be peers. We're supposed to be a family. And I have to point out this to you? Really? You're going to put that weight on me? To come to you on your television screen across the entire fucking world and go, hey, buddy. Hey, how you doing? You sure that's you? Because I don't even know you, and I'm looking at the society you're a part of, and it looks like you guys are all full of shit. So if you want to change society, why don't you start by changing the way you behave in the world? Because I, personally, the person sitting here doing this card reading for you, literally have nothing to hide. And you might think, oh, that's so funny, you're not even on camera right now. Well, what exactly are you avoiding right now by pointing that out? That's what I'm trying to point out to you. Use a little common sense and pretend that I'm like 1,000 steps ahead of you, and just try to figure out what it is I'm trying to show you that's like 2 steps in front of you. Just for a second, pretend I'm here to help you and not to scold you. Pretend for a second that I'm actually utilizing my God-given time and breath to do this to help you. And for fuck's sake, just pretend that you're putting in the work just so that you can see the glimmer of how much you're denying who you really are. If we're in the same sphere or even communicating, then we share a thread, which means I have either been where you are, I'm going to be, or I've experienced something similar and learned the lessons, and I'm sharing the wisdom with you. And I'm telling you, as a bipedal humanoid, the entirety of life has gone mad because everyone's lying to themselves, making up boxes and labels and genders and putting sexual categories on body parts and just the most absurd things people do, and then the most horrible things people do. And then the in-betweens who remain silent and do nothing. What do you expect me to be able to tell you here? If I'm standing in front of you saying you're hiding your true self, are you going to continue to lie to me? Because I can see you. I can see you. You can't see yourself. You can see your hands and your feet, maybe tips of your hair, your clothes maybe. But really, you can't see yourself. I can. I can see you in a way you'll never be able to see yourself. I get a full 3-dimensional view of you. But you get specific angles, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional on video. You get to see yourself from another person's point of view. You get to do introspection and, communicate with God within and whatever you believe in. But other people get to see you in your human form or humanoid form. And one of those people is telling you the entire species is using, it's like the entire species is using plastic, but the entire species is lying to itself because it has distorted sexual energy, which in turn has distorted its ability to be empathic, which in turn has distorted its ability to be good and have a good sense of judgment because it's forgotten how to feel good. It's demonized its own skin. Where do you think this war between humanity and life is going to go, other than humanity destroying the life within itself? Did you ever think the domino effect of any act of war or violence anywhere in all of creation? Did you really think that there wouldn't be one ripple that would go to the extreme in either spectrum, in either side of the spectrum? So if that possibility of the worst and the best exist, why would you constantly play the flux game of going back and forth between the two and tormenting your physical body and those bodies of other people around you? Their lives, their energy, their everything. Why are you bleeding into their paintings? Why are you taking their paintings? Why are you in someone's house in their painting? Why are you eating all that artificial crap? Like, eat whatever you want, right? But at the same time, what are you putting in your body? Your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your your Ghibli bits. It's really time to have a massive reality check with the self, to commune with the source within. Because a lot of advice, a lot of people are getting, many people, a lot of people, great amounts of people, whatever. Okay, pick a language, pick a fucking metaphor, I don't care. You guys are listening to shit that is not good for you. And then when you find the real deal, you're like, oh my God, that's so scary. Well, obviously, it's stuff that you're avoiding because all the other stuff is fake. You want the real deal? You want a real oracle? You want to really do your shadow work? This is what it's like. There's no glitz and glamour in it. There's no, tits and cleavage and like fancy clothes and this. I mean, I could put on a show for you, but really, can we get to the point so we can go to the next page? And I don't know who it is that keeps popping into these private lives that I do to record these videos without having to upload them. But somebody keeps popping in and out. And if you're going to do that, you may as well like share this video so like YouTube can be nicer to me, because people need to really sit down and do the work. And whether this is egotistical to you or not, I don't give a shit. But the information on this channel is beyond priceless to your spiritual fucking evolution. And if you can't see that, when you do, I hope you have enough decency to at least, say thank you to God. Because I'm just doing what I'm fucking being guided to do. It's all the big guy and big mama upstairs or inside or whatever. It's everywhere. Everything. Oh, God. Reality is so confusing sometimes. Is there anything good I can tell them? I mean, really. Here, let's give them this. I'm so tired of being the Queen of Swords to everybody, man. Like, Queen of Swords, High Priestess, fucking energy. And I'm like, the whole Empress vibe. It's like, nah, bro. And then you want me to do the Emperor thing and like all this shit. And I've been doing it all this time. And I just want a puppy. And I want my garden. And I just want to chill the fuck out with like a massive 12-foot fucking joint. Sit in the garden and just that. I don't want to be sitting here like telling you guys to get your heads out of your own asses. You guys are fucking adults, man. You've been on this planet for more than 3 fucking years as a conscious person making conscious decisions. How dare you expect anybody else to give you a fucking reality check on the fucking internet? Can y'all go outside for a bit? Play with the snow? Like look at the stars? Go for walks? Melt the ice on the streets if there's like ice on the sidewalks, because you don't know how many old ladies are walking up and down those streets. And be gentle with yourselves and those around you. Stop eating each other. Oh my God. But I mean, if you're gonna eat bacon, but bacon's bacon. I'm sorry, bacon's fucking delicious. God, I'm sorry, but there better be bacon in heaven. Like on my heaven on earth, there is absolutely bacon. There's coffee, and there's going to be good tobacco, and there's going to be massive amounts of marijuana in my heaven on earth. And all the fruit trees and like all the trees and foliage in the world is going to be edible. So like you could, never starve. And everybody gets a house, and everybody gets a car, everybody gets money, and like everybody can go live where the fuck they want. Everybody get in your lane. And the only rule is no betrayal to self or other, which means no harm, no lying, no stealing, no bullshit, no manipulation, no nothing that makes me want to have to smack you. Ever. Like, ever. Don't make me go into full Phoenix mode and, like, friggin' buck-aw you out of the friggin' cosmos. I'll pluck you guys up with my friggin' talons and I'll fling you into a fucking black hole myself. No more harm. God damn it. Say a prayer, bro. Thank God for what you guys have. You have air. water. There's a ground under you. You have a horizon. You know where up is. You know where down is. You have a fully functional fucking reproductive system and digestive system. You can chew food. You can bite into an apple. You can eat corn on the cob. You probably have had sex within the recent 6 months to 4 years. You probably eat more than one meal a day. You probably have more than $100 to spare. You probably are really good at doing something that nobody else is. You experienced life in a way that only you did, and only you saw that. Only you have those certain trinkets, items, and memories. And God gave them to you. What happened to that little kid inside you? What happened? That you decided allowing any form of cruelty within yourself was okay. I mean, could you look at this child and say all the horrible things you think about yourself to this child? Let's say you're a different species. Would you go and eat that child? Would you harm it? You'd probably treat it with grace and kindness and gentleness, wouldn't you? With love and nourishment, and you would create sanctuary and safety for it. That was you. What happened to that? What happened to that vibration of you that you were when you were that? Did you even bother watching the video that I posted called "A Promise Made" or "A Promise Kept by Gaia"? Did you even bother to like think more than once on any of the words that were said in that video? Any of the energy or thoughts you felt? Did you even acknowledge any of those previous versions of you that existed? Your child self, your shadow self, your light self, your, different species, ethnicity self, different parents, families, different friends and relationships, who you were while you were watching different movies, whatever. Did you properly acknowledge each person you could have been and how you've betrayed yourself in each one of those versions? I don't know how some of you can really claim to read cards or to be coaches or anything regarding any other human being or any other living being while being a hypocrite. I cannot comprehend it, and it's kind of irritating me right now. So I'm just gonna head on out of here. I don't know what else to tell you. They know what to do. I don't know what you want me to tell them. I've told them this a million times. They have every moment to start over. They have every moment to choose to be better. They have every moment to transform that pain into suffering into something better. To love themselves more every fucking moment. To love the person they're with more. To choose who they are every fucking moment. To change, to be better, to evolve. But people don't want to choose that. They want to deify other people for choosing that. They want to, like, call green a color of envy when it's a color of healing. They want to twist things and distort things, all because they don't want to admit of the light within themselves, the eternal flame within. They don't want to go inside and deal with that inner child. They don't want to do the shadow work. They want to talk about, skin color or place of birth or, status of financial whatever, or health conditions or beauty standards, or fucking what planet they're living on or what dimension they're in. Anything other than, are you okay by yourself? You guys talk about channeling gods and goddesses, but really, if you were channeling real gods and goddesses, I mean, wouldn't you fucking blow up? Be honest with yourself for a second. You really think you can handle channeling that divine fucking energy through while being a traitor to the self? You really think copying or stealing from another's light is going to make you look any better? What are you going to do when the Lady of Hermits shines her wand and points her wand at what's been done in the dark, at the pain and suffering that was caused? What are you going to do when she of the Hermits comes through and says, hey, I see what you did in the dark. Hey, everybody, look at that. Look at what was done. What are you going to do then? Choose to be better now. Choose to be ready to heal now. Don't wait for later. Don't wait for some person on a horse or a cloud to show up. Don't wait for some statue to bleed for you. Don't fucking wait to be a better example of your own self and your own fucking Akashic record. My God. Come on, you guys. We've been alive on this planet for how many fucking millennia now? We still can't figure out that, beating each other is bad. Cheating is bad. Lying is bad. Stealing is bad. Gossip is bad. Spying and stalking is bad. Is that not common sense? Guys, and those of you that know, what the fuck are you guys doing being so quiet about it? Ugh, I can't. Hashtag white girl can't. Cantometer at max. Please, no more. Oh my God. Somebody bring me a fucking latte.